Nick Saban has strung together a number of number one recruiting classes, all in the top five. Put that together with the number of national championships Nick Saban has won at Alabama. That's four. He has been the gold standard in college football since his third season in Tuscaloosa with that first national championship in 2009. That means recruiting not only matters, it is crucial to winning championships. We bring in Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama to help us sort out the current Tide class as we approach National Signing Day. Stephen M., always a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's break down this first class. And first of all, it's a big weekend in Tuscaloosa in regards to wooing some of those future recruits in. If you can kind of sort that out for us first.
Definitely a big week, Mark. Alabama coming off its fourth national championship in 7 years under Nick Saban. Of course, Saban's been here for 9 years now. But with the national title, there will be a parade in Tuscaloosa on this Saturday, January the 23rd, starting at 10 a.m. Central Time. About 20 recruits, which includes five-star defensive lineman Kendall Jones. About 20 recruits will be in Tuscaloosa this week, getting a view of the parade, and also some of the guys taking their official visits to Alabama. Big week for recruiting as the Crimson Tide not only celebrate a national championship with a parade and plays, but also getting the last kind of recruiting pitch to some of these guys that look to sign on.
You know, Stephen M., I know from past experience to be careful asking you this next question, because I bring on most bloggers and broadcasters to run down their recruiting classes and say, you know, who are the couple guys that stand out that might be in top 20 at their position or something like that. But it's typically like two or three guys at each position that are ranked in the top 5, the top 10 at their position. So the riches are everywhere across the board. Are there a few guys that maybe stand out to you or are just obvious elite players that could really transition to the college game quickly and make an impact?
I see 3 to 4 coming into this Alabama class of 2016, and one of them happens to be Kendall Jones, the defensive tackle, which I just referred to. This is a guy that's already 360 pounds, big guy, kind of built like Terrence Mount Cody of recent seasons at Alabama. Of course, Cody was here from 2008 to 2009 as the big man in the middle that really did a great job at stopping the run. And Kendall Jones brings a lot of those characteristics. Big body, can take up 2 blocks, can really allow teammates to come in, converge, and make the tackle. But opposite of Terrence Cody, Kendall Jones has some quick feet, quick hands, great hand strike, can win those one-on-one battles at the line of scrimmage. So Kendall Jones, one guy. Number 2, flipping to the offensive line, I look at Jonah Williams, offensive tackle, another 5-star, a guy that has a very high ceiling, kind of reminds me just technique-wise, a former Alabama offensive tackle, Andre Smith, a guy that now in the NFL playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jonah Williams, good spacing with the hands, good spacing with the feet, really knows how to shield, get up to the next level, take on a linebacker, really good mental preparation of how to handle the blocking assignments. Do I shield away? Can I go around, lay out a block, and get the run game going? So Jonah Williams on the offensive line, a guy that I'm very high on. And at quarterback, Jalen Hurts, the 4-star out of Channelview, Texas, a guy that was one of 4 early enrollees for this class. I got a chance to watch him during Alabama's bowl prep, and he was simulating Deshaun Watson. Hello, a very hard quarterback to represent on the scout team. But Jalen Hurts gave the guys a pretty good look. He's got a strong arm, good footwork in the pocket. I would watch him shake his head at what Lane Kiffin would tell him, and then he would lock himself into a zone and go out there and do it. And you rarely see kids really lock into what the offensive coordinator and the head coach would tell them and go out there and perform. And that's something that Jalen Hurts did. And I feel like he's going to be the guy that's going to really give Blake Barnett that push coming into spring ball, summer camp, and fall practice. Now, I think Blake Barnett eventually wins that job, but Jalen Hurts, the 4-star, out of Texas is a guy that can really give Fournette a push because he comes in, he's got the weight, he's got the arm strength. This guy's special.
Stephen M. Smith joining us from Touchdown Alabama on Alabama's current recruiting class as it sizes up with a couple of weeks out to National Signing Day. We know that this is going to be an elite class regardless, but we also both know that so much can happen in that final 2 weeks, and even in the waning hours leading up to these kids putting their names on the dotted line. Any guys out there that are kind of on the fence, that are looking at other elite schools that you would really like to see sway to Alabama?
I'm looking at number one, Shyheim Carter. I think he's a linebacker or a defensive back, one of the two. Shyheim Carter at one point committed to Alabama. He decommitted. He was one of LSU's top targets as well, coming out of LSU's backyard from New Orleans. Shyheim Carter, very, very built, a guy that's very instinctive, can stop the run, he has that lateral quickness playing the pass. It can even come on a blitz and rush the passer. So Shyheim Carter was a guy that I really would love to see commit back to Alabama. As I mentioned, committed at one time before, decommitted, and now a top prospect of LSU. Another guy is Lendell Mack Wilson. Mack Wilson wanted to come to Alabama primarily to play under a Kirby Smart defense. He has a close-knit relationship with Kirby Smart. But with Smart now at Georgia, Lendell Mack Wilson on the fence between Alabama and Georgia, wants to play for Kirby Smart, but does have a good relationship with Coach Saban and a lot of the players on the Crimson Tide right now. So Lendell Mack Wilson on the fence. And also Ben Davis, number one linebacker in the state of Alabama, plays at Gordo High School, which is a couple of miles outside of Tuscaloosa. Very instinctive guy, quick with the hands, very quick on gap assignments. Another guy that strong relationship to Kirby Smart, but also strong relationship to Nick Saban. So he's on the fence as well. Shyheim Carter, Lendell Wilson, and Ben Davis, three guys that Alabama would love to have to make that class a concrete class, very elite-focused class. But those are the three that are on the fence at this moment.
Stephen, any guys that may be a little bit under the radar, which is kind of difficult at Alabama, but with all the five stars coming in, maybe some lesser regarded guys, but maybe some guys that you have seen, in any particular player that you've seen on tape, heard really good things about, that they could jump out, and maybe even if it's 3 years from now, could become a impact player.
Number one, Mark, I look at Christian Bale, 3-star defensive end. This guy right here, he's a little bit raw, but I give him 2 years to 3 years working with Bo Davis, defensive line coach, and Tosh Lapointe, outside linebackers coach. Christian Bale in 2 to 3 years is going to be an absolute monster. This guy, a pure pass rusher. He's an animal coming off the ball, attacking quarterbacks. I've watched this guy. He's quick in the backfield. He has a knack for creating those negative plays. As I mentioned, still a little bit raw, needs to be a bit more refined in understanding when do I pressure, when do I contain, could use a bit more weight on that frame. He's about 6'3", 6'4", but very raw, very, very talented. So I look at Christian Bale. Number two, Miller Forrestall, the 3-star tight end coming out of Cartersville, Georgia, a guy that's got good hands. Needs to be a little bit more fine-tuned blocking-wise, but he's got the hands to be that security blanket on some of those short routes, some of those 3rd down and 5, 3rd and short situations, and also in red zone play. He'll learn a lot from O.J. Howard and Hale Hentges, but Miller Forrestall, a 3-star tight end, and Christian Bell, a 3-star defensive end. Those two, in 2 to 3 years, can be very, very key cogs.
Stephen, it's always an education for me to bring you on. So it's always great to track you down. I know you've got a ton of things going, bring you on and get an education on Alabama football. And at this time of year, people are going crazy, as you well know, about recruiting and want to know the latest news.
I think crazy is an understatement, man.
Yeah, I don't know what other word to go with, because they're crazy college football fans during the season.
The word pandemonium.
It seems like they want to win the recruiting wars almost as much as they want to win the games on the field in the fall. It is unbelievable. People can't get enough.
What makes it surreal, Mark, is it's not just it's one in recruiting, it's the mindset one in recruiting. Saban wants to get these guys in and immediately buy into the fact that it's a team effort. We all do our jobs. You do your job, and you trust the guy next to you to do their job. So it's not just the recruiting aspect and the psychology behind it being do your job and trust your teammate and play for your teammate. So with Saban trying to get both of those intricacies tied into each other, that's what makes the program an elite program. It's not just recruiting, but it's also play within yourself, but also play for the next guy to you.
Exactly. Well stated right there. That's what makes him, among other things, one of the greatest coaches in the history of college football, especially in this day and age, dealing with guys that could be prima donnas, and you're not going to be able to harness every single one of them, but for the most part, 90-some% of them, make them play for the team and see the goal of being able to accomplish your personal goals, individual goals, while still helping the team and making that the number one priority and objective. It's amazing what he's able to do year in, year out with that objective in mind, dealing with elite athletes at the same time. Stephen M. Smith from Touchdown Alabama helping us sort out the Alabama class for 2016. Stephen M., hopefully we can talk to you soon and wrap up this National Signing Day.
Oh, man, anytime, Mark. It's always a great joy to be on with you and slowly coming off the national title high, but it was a great season.